Good evening, everybody. Chat room. Mark, I thought you said you went to Hawaii for a second there. Old soul, some brains. You guys are already chatting here. Oh, chicken tendies. All right. Paintball action. This evening, we have NXL Europe to talk about. We got a cool fight video from like 20 years ago. I want to see if anyone remembers that I found today that's kind of crazy. We got like an old paintball gun we might talk about a little bit. I want to get your guys' feedback on some paintball myths. Paintball myths. Myths is kind of a hard word to say. Myths. Paintball myths. And maybe some other old videos we might talk about. It was kind of a light week, so we're just going to hang out. But without further ado, bfpgear.com. I don't know what I was going to say. Something. bfpgear.com. You know, I was over at SAC Paintball the other day here in SAC Paintball, here in Sacramento. BFP Gear's one of their locations here in Northern California, and I got to see these things in real life. They actually are really nice. They're the old kind of like goggle frame that is shiny. Unlike this like new matte kind of print they're putting on a lot of the goggles, these are really, really nice. Really liked these. They turned out really good. bfpgear.com, they have them. Or you can go check them out at Extreme Paintball and SAC Paintball if you're here locally. And, you know, maybe, you know, you just don't want a mask. You're like, you know, I already got a bunch of masks. They got everything you need, right? Whether you need a new barrel made, whether you need the Strike barrel swab from HK Army, you know, they got all kinds of goodies. bfpgear.com. I wish that would like switch me back. Without them, paintball just wouldn't be as fun. I'll tell you that much. What do we got here? What are you guys doing? Something about oil fires or something. Mark, what's up? Brad, we're waiting for you all weekend to roll up to the campsite. I hope not. Well, I didn't know what was going on. Anyway, we'll not talk about camping. We'll talk about camping next time I see Mark. Or maybe later on when we don't have anything else to talk about. In the meantime, NXL Europe, the second tournament of the year, wrapped up in England. And here are your winners. We have the Lucky 15s winning the Pro Division. This is really Lucky 15's first win in the Pro Division. They ranked third overall last year. And they did get second at the kind of Euro World Cup, the Euro Championships in Paris last year. Below them, we have Camp Carnage. Really well, really a really good placing from them. Being able to come in second, they've not been really good. I mean, Camp Carnage have been all over the place. I'm going to say Carnage because that's how they say it. You can say Carnage if you want. They're kind of all over the place. I looked at like their last showings, right? They obviously got second here in I was going to say England, and it is in England, right outside of Manchester at CPPS Paintball. Camp Carnage, though, they got a second place, a 14th, 13th, a 7th, a 16th. You know, so getting 7th or getting second is really good. Followed by a 9th, a 2nd, a 4th, a 23rd. So they're kind of everywhere. So a second place finish, very good for them. Joy Division are in first overall right now over in Europe. They have Harrison Fry paying for them. Harrison's been playing for them for a long time. Joy Division won the first event and then getting third in the second. Breakout Spa getting fourth. And then, did I say Chris Shear is playing for Joy Division? Chris Shear is playing for Breakout Spa. Harrison Fry is playing for Joy Division. And then we have LFT. LFT stands for Forever Tauntauns or something like that. Tauntauns Forever. However you say that in French, I don't know. And this is kind of the Tauntauns other roster, right? I mean, they do have their NXL Europe roster, which is kind of the roster we think about as being so good. Axel's playing for them. You got Hugo Verneghi playing for them. Fabrice Colombo playing for the U.S. team, also playing for that European roster. And he's really the only guy from that U.S. team playing over there in Europe. So the Tauntauns kind of have two different whole teams. They're not fielding the exact teams over there in Europe. We see the Trash Pandas up there in first and semi-pro. And I think that's Ballern Factory. I think that Ballern is something. It's either a store or a field, obviously. Nick Sloviak actually played for them, as well as Cody Woodruff from Aftershock. No, Aftermath. I was like, don't say Aftershock, but I said it anyway. Sporting CP getting third, Outbreak HBI in fourth place. And then fifth place, we have BM United with American Kyle Berry playing on BM United. There are your season standings. Like I said, we can see Tauntauns, not Tauntauns, we can see the Joy Division up there in that first place, as well as the Trash Pandas. And they do have a webcast, right? So you can actually watch NXL Europe over on the Major League Paintball YouTube channel. There's a link in the description. I would go subscribe to the Major League Paintball channel. You're not going to just see this. You know, they got all kinds of stuff on there. There's I thought this was playing. It's not playing. There's, all kinds of stuff over Major League Paintball YouTube channel. This is just the last 4 minutes of regulation here. This, webcast obviously is not going to be as good as Go Sports or the Major League Paintball Plus network. Mainly just because there aren't, no one's paying for this. This is free on the Major League Paintball channel. So that's one of the reasons it's not going to be as good of quality. But they didn't switch cameras a lot. Every time I tuned in, I always thought this was the only camera angle they have. But they actually have like 5 different camera angles. They just don't ever switch to the different camera angles, which I found interesting. I thought this was like the last point, and I thought it went on for a really long time. Never mind. Maybe we'll like jump around a little bit. It's 2-2. So this is the last point right here. That would make more sense. Since the Lucky 15s did win, it is 2-2. Yeah, they just didn't have I mean, there were different camera angles. They just didn't ever switch to those alternative camera angles that much, which I don't know. I just thought was kind of weird because every time I went to watch, it was just always on this camera angle, and I was like, I don't want to watch if it's just this constant angle. So I didn't even watch any of this. I watched the very last few minutes of this finals match, and that's really all. Mainly just because the camera angles were not so great, but as again, I understand it's on a little bit of a shoestring budget. This feels kind of cool though, how there's those you can see that one beam on the blue side right there in the center 50, and there's another one on the other side, and then there's one on the red side as well. We just kind of can't see it as easy. That's interesting. I really like that stuff. We kind of started to see that at the last layout. Where the hell was this last tournament? In Cincinnati, how they had those beams all the way across the field, and some guys were utilizing it, right? We saw some guys go to one spot and then fake it out and get down and crawl back. So I really like the center beams. It kind of gives you more alternative angles and just, different things to do. Yeah, see what I mean? Nothing's happening. So this is not the most exciting thing to watch in the world. Lucky 15s finished this out though. And I'm so confused right here. I don't know how he shot that guy. I don't know who shoots who or what happens. But it looks like the Lucky 15s guy didn't even know that the snake guy was there. And he kind of got lucky. Or he did know he was there and he just like pulled his gun up. Does a nice little spin move right there. There's no audio on this, I know, guys. But this is the part I was a little weirded out about. So we can see the score. It's kind of hard to see, right? But the score is 2-2. And then right there in the center of the screen, you can see the clock at 21 seconds. And Lucky 15s shoot everybody, right? So it's like a 3-on-0, right? And they're in this situation where there's 20 seconds left. And you're like, okay, we've shot all our guys. The score is 2-2. And what you need to do in this situation is just run the clock out, right? You need to go stand by the start gate, right by the buzzer, and wait for that clock to get to like 2 seconds, and then you hit the buzzer at 2 seconds. Because, you know, no one's going to win a point in 2 seconds. What you don't do is haul ass to the start gate and then hit the start gate and hit the buzzer with 18 seconds left. So now it's 3-2, and you're in the lead. But there's 18 seconds left, so it's totally possible to score a point in 18 seconds. So you really kind of want to run the clock out there, and don't give your opponents the opportunity to come back. Yeah, that's NXL Europe. That was my short spiel on NXL Europe. Yeah, it was really cool to see our friend Tyler Panilio, Tyler local Nick. There's Nick Sloviak. We were just speaking of Nick Sloviak. Playing with, I've already forgotten because I wrote it down and as soon as I say it, it goes in and out my brain. Baller and Factory. Are those guys, is that like a store or a field? Or what's going on there? BM United, Chris. Yes, Bowel Movements. Bowel Movement United. They'll go poop synchronously. Synchronously? In unison. It's like women when they sync up and they're like, you know, menstrual cycles sync up. That's what happens to construction workers when they hang out too much. Their bowel movements sync up. Yeah, anyway. That was Europe. And yeah. That's about all that happened. Nate Hanneman, how's it going? Dang, I made the stream. New lighting? No, it just changes every time. I just, you know, move stuff every single time. I have to reset this up every live stream. So sometimes, you know, positions and things get altered and whatever. I actually don't like it. I don't like how light dark my face is over here. I kind of wish the light was a little more like that. Josh, what are you doing? Okay. This is something crazy I saw this week. Oh my God, did I not put that in here? Oh, I put this in here. So this, I don't know. This is a really old video, and I somehow came across this the other day. This is probably 2004, right? I think it's 2004. My guess is 2004. One of the things that stands out right away is look at how many bunkers there are. There's literally no bunkers. No bunkers on the field whatsoever. I gotta put my headphones on for this one though. So what I want is, does anybody remember, if you're really old, what actually happened in this video? I know at some point it came out and people were talking about it, but I do not remember. So we're gonna watch it all together. Okay, first of all, let's just go back a little bit. Does he actually hit him? Yeah, well, not really. Maybe the white guy hit the red guy. The best part's like at the end. I think I can kind of hear in the background. I don't know. I think someone's yelling his goggles. Something goggles. But that guy definitely doesn't have a mask on.
The refs aren't even watching the game! The refs are wrestling in the field! What's up with that? $2,000 for that? Are you kidding? Go on, go on!
Okay, so no, never mind. We're gonna do some investigating. So if anyone remembers what happened what happened? So this, I didn't actually watch this all the way to the very, very end. So I think this might be in the red jerseys right here. You can see the random guys in red jerseys, not red like shirts, but like the guy on the far left of the screen in that like red jersey. I think that it's Legacy, right? I think that that's Legacy with the proto jerseys on. And it really looks like the guy who came out in the red shirt is somehow like affiliated with Legacy, because there's a Legacy guy kind of like pulling him back and like kind of holding him. But then there's another guy in a red shirt, so I don't know. And then another guy in a red shirt. So the red shirt guys kind of look like refs. So is that guy a photographer? It looks like a camera, right? That's gotta be a camera. He's gotta be holding a camera. Crazy! It's so funny. I remember this was such a big deal when it happened. And then I saw it the other day and I was like, oh shit. So it's like the guy, maybe the camera guy, is like on the field. Yeah, you're not supposed to be on the field with a camera like that, that's for sure. At least he shouldn't be. So yeah, the refs are in red. Like that's definitely a ref right here watching the snake, right? Yeah, for sure. Okay. Now we know what happens, it looks like. So I'm gonna bet that the red guy goes out there, tells this guy to get off the field because you can't be on the field using that camera. And then he's like, I'm not getting off the field. And he like takes a picture of him right there. And then he's like, give me that. And he tries to take his camera. He's like, fuck that shit. And he's like, bitch. And they get up and start fighting. So funny. Anyway, what are you guys talking about? You sure it's 2003? I don't know. I have no idea. It just looks like it looks like what the field looked like in 2004 or 2003 or something. Look him tap. Do you see him tap right there? That was funny. He's like, all right, I'm good. Does he tap? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It very well could have been 2006 too. Oh, that's true. If they had proto jerseys on, that's true. It wouldn't have been. It probably would have been 2006, 2007 even maybe. The end is hilarious, dude. The end is hilarious, though.
The refs aren't even watching the game! The refs are wrestling in the field! What's up with that? $2,000 for that?
$2,000 for that? It's so funny.
The refs aren't even watching the game! The refs are wrestling in the field! What's up with that? $2,000 for that? Are you kidding?
Okay. Anyway, it's so funny. I love it. I think I'm gonna make some like sound bites from this. I want to have like paid $2,000 for that. Oh no, wait.
Are you kidding? The refs are wrestling in the field! What's up with that? $2,000 for that?
If anyone has any other cool, fun videos like that, send them my way. So fun. Shelda! Dan! Watching with no sound is as completely different experience. Okay. I don't know. PSP feels look like that until 2009-ish. Okay. It's hard for me to even remember that far back. Plus I see that huge X and I'm like, yeah, I just think about like way back in the day. I don't know, Old Soul, that's maybe what I thought too. I was like, it's possible that like the photographer, that guy on the field, right, was like bird dogging, like following players around. But he shouldn't even be there in the first place, you know? Like there shouldn't even be a photographer on the field like that, you know? For sure. Yeah. It doesn't matter, you know, what you're doing. You just shouldn't be there in general. This other ref comes up, he's like, what's going on over here? He's like, oh shit. The camera guy was on it though. The camera guy was like, whoop, whoop. Perfect. That's as far as he can zoom maybe? Nope, we're going more. It's crazy. Thank you, 720. Bird dogging. Yeah, I don't know where the bird dogging term comes from, but it used to be like back in the day when you'd be on the sidelines and like if you were watching the game, you know, and like you're following the snake guy. So like he moves up the snake and then you like follow him down the snake. So you're kind of like giving his position away. I have no idea what that like term actually came from though. Damn, let's like, I know what we could do. Let's look up paintball fights. Paintball fights? Wait, why did I put paintball fits? I guess I'm just used to like, damn, you know what I hate is YouTube shorts. Plus all this is just going to be nonsense. We're not going to find any like, is this actually push? Someone uploaded this 12 years ago? Yeah, that looks like actually push. Yeah, we're probably not going to find anything. I mean, I can eventually. I could if I didn't. We're not doing it like this. YouTube search is just god awful. Like you put paintball fights in there, and then it gives you like a couple search results, and then it's like this weird like show more thing, and I don't know. It's just awful. We're having weird computer problems all of a sudden too. Like stuff's like loading. Anyway, we're probably not gonna find any cool paintball fights like that. They're definitely out there, but most of the old like paintball fights are, yeah, they're 20 years old or something like that. So, yeah, that one's just crazy because it's like at the NXL or like at the PSP on the actual field. It's kind of like between two people who aren't playing. It's so weird. What is bird dogging? The hunting dog points at the bird. Okay, there you go. Old Soul says the hunting bird points at the hunting dog points at the bird. The hunter gives the command to flush, and then the dog spooks the bird, and the hunter can't shoot it out of the air. There you go. That's perfect for the dog pointing out the birds or whatever. And then the dog runs into the brush and he's like, "Rawr." Oh, look, we got some brains too. That's a good one too. Some Brains has also got a good one. Anyway, yeah, those were two. That was just funny, I thought. NXL fight and whatever. Was thinking about all the people in Texas earlier. My God, if you are in central-ish, southern West Texas or whatever, it's goddamn nightmare out there, so be safe. There's like natural disasters all over the place now. It's becoming the norm of all types, right? Hurricanes, tornadoes, flooding, firestorms. Thankfully, earthquakes are not like going to be more because of climate change. Well, they think they might be, but it's another story. What else we got, gentlemen? I don't really have anything else cool to talk about, unfortunately. So if you're looking for any more amazing topics, it's not going to happen unless someone can hook it up with some more paintball fight videos. That would be cool. I did kind of want to watch this Brass Eagle video. Should we watch this Brass Eagle video together? Why not? This is like, damn it, I gotta switch to the right screen though. I don't even know what this is. I just find some of this old stuff kind of fun. Like these really old videos. This is, So this is long, though.
How you guys doing? Hey, look, Fred Schultz. How you doing? Hi, I'm Fred Schultz, captain of Constant Pursuit, one of the most well-known paintball teams in the world today. I'm here to show you that paintball is not only safe.
So Fred Schultz is like OG, like, I mean, he did like everything back in the day. I was trying to see if it had an actual year on this. Yeah, Fred Schultz is, yeah, like I said, OG. Fred Schultz had lots of stuff. It's like honestly before my time, so it's hard for me to even like know or remember this stuff. Yeah, but he was everywhere.
It's fun and for everybody. When you're done watching this video, you too will have the edge to play your first game of paintball.
Ooh, that's probably
Don't
like...
be intimidated by the game of paintball. It's fun, safe, and anyone can play. All you need is a set of basic equipment available at any good rental field. This is a standard paintball. It's 0.68 inches in diameter and has a gelatin covering.
I was going to talk about the... I almost thought about watching the Disney one instead.
It's important to pick a quality paintball that's designed to shoot straight and stand up to the rigors of storage and tough playing. As the game of paintball developed, so did the basic gun used to play the game.
Stingray.
Today, there are 3 basic designs used on most fields and easily available to the average player. The smallest paintball markers are the pistol types. Pistol paintball guns operate with small CO2 cartridges and hold between 10 and 12 paintballs.
Curious.
The second type are the pump action guns. They have a longer barrel length,
there you go.
larger CO2 bottles,
this could
and
be
they hold a hopper that is capable of carrying more paintballs into the field. When the pump is pulled back, a paintball from the hopper loads into the barrel. Pulling the trigger allows CO2 to enter the chamber and propel the ball out of the barrel. The third type of paintball gun is the semi-automatic.
Dude, those things suck so bad.
They are similar in design to the pump action guns,
all
but
these
do not
Brass
require any
Eagle guns
motion
are just
to load
god
the paintball.
awful.
As you can see, they are capable
so
of firing
bad.
many more rounds than a pump gun. Carry one onto the field.
Ooh.
Fired paintball.
Man, that's incredible.
Oh, this is cool. I wanted to see this.
JJ, this place is huge.
Well, Fred, it has to be. In order to produce thousands of guns a day.
Thousands of guns a day?
That's right, Fred. That's what it takes to meet the demand.
That's incredible. Can you give me a little
We're probably going to
We
get
have to,
takedown
Fred, but
from
just
this
as in
music.
paintball, our workers here have to protect their eyes.
Super, not a problem. This is just incredible, JJ. Well, we're here by the conveyor belt, so evidently this is where things are assembled.
That's right, Fred. And more than being assembled, they're tested as we move them down the line. For example, this is our latest creation, the Raptor.
Well, JJ, what's it take to develop a paintball gun like this?
I mean, it was better
Fred, the
than
three
the
most important
Stingray,
things in a
but...
paintball marker when it comes to manufacturing So number one, of course, the design and development of the gun itself. That takes hundreds of thousands of dollars
I don't
and
even know
thousands
what
of
that
hours
is.
to bring the first one into the production facility. Then it takes the people themselves to build the guns with the highest quality standards. They have to pay very close attention to what they're doing and be very
Raptor.
conscientious about it.
Yeah, I noticed they're real meticulous when we're putting things together, and then it goes to a testing, right? Because I'm sure the tolerances have to be close because of the air pressure.
Absolutely, Fred. The Raptor, as it's built, will go down the line. It'll be tested, performance tested actually by each operator. It then goes on to the chronograph area where it's checked for velocity. It has to fall within our standards on velocity. From there, it goes to a leak test facility where it sits overnight to make sure we have no leakage problems.
So basically, if I walked into a store and I purchased this Raptor, I could just take it out of the box and go play with it?
Absolutely, Fred. We wouldn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and thousands of man hours to develop our products and then ship them without testing.
Well, I can tell you it was worth every penny because that is one fantastic looking paintball gun. Well, JJ, you got thousands of guns going out of here every day. Where do you store all these things?
Come with me, Fred. I'll be happy
I
to
don't
show you
know,
the
Old
warehouse.
Soul.
to see that.
It could be.
You know, I guess
It seems like it.
thousands of guns a day. You have to have some place to put them. JJ, you've got a place to put them.
That's right, Fred. Plus all the individual parts, the boxes, and all the packing material is kept in this warehouse.
Damn, look at that
Just
thing.
unbelievable. You guys ship out of here also then?
That's right, Fred. We ship out of there 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to every continent in the world.
Well, JJ, I got to tell you, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule because I know it takes an awful lot to run this, believe me. But I thank you so much for taking your time.
Dude,
coming
one
down
thing
and
that's
showing us
like-
around.
Fred, it's been mine. I look forward
Right
to seeing
away, a lot different. You know, it's just the
Thank you very much,
manufacturing
sir.
stuff's just so different. You know, it's like you can't really go to a facility like that now in the U.S. for any of the paintball companies. Gold Cap.
What do you say we go inside and meet the gentleman in charge of making your Brass Eagle paintballs?
Gold
Mr.
Cap.
Lucas.
Hi, Fred.
Mr. Carson, how you doing?
Good. How are you today?
I was just in the area and I thought I'd drop in and check you guys out. I see you make a lot more than paintballs here.
We certainly do. Gold Caps is a manufacturer of pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, I
nutritional
was gonna say
products
it's
such
probably
as
like a
vitamins,
pharmaceutical company.
cosmetics,
Most of these
and also
companies are all
supplementary
pharmaceuticals.
Unreal. So what's the overlap with paintball then?
Well, actually, Fred, what we're talking about here is a basic technology, soft gel technology, in which the work we do on a drug, a cosmetic, is the same as a paintball.
I don't know, I
quality,
think it looks funny.
Same GMPs, same product development.
So there's quite a bit that goes into making a paintball then.
There sure is.
Say, what's chances of getting to see how paintball's really made?
Let's go.
I would love it.
Material.
I mean, it's not any different, really.
And then by the time
Yeah, there you go.
dry 'em,
Tumble, they sheet dry.
rounds can be for better flight, so you don't have problems with ending your gun.
On the playing field. What do you say we take a look at your first engagement against another paint?
Okay, I don't know. This is lame. I kind of thought it would be. I just wanted to see what it was. I knew it was like a introduction to paintball. Chris Martin says, "Make Brass Eagle great again." No. Is that what there's? Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed, but a couple weeks ago, Core Outdoor, they, I guess, announced that all their products have increased 10%. They had been slowly doing it, but they just decided like 3 weeks ago to raise all their prices 10%. So prices are more now, but a lot of things are more, like die rotor LTRs. LTRs now will be probably increasing in price. It just depends on kind of which stock some stores have, but some places are still selling them for $100, but most of them have gone to $120. So it's kind of crazy that the rotors, have increased 20% in price. And yep. So I can't foresee a future where stuff will get cheaper. Yep. Curtis, someone get Greenspan in here. He immediately to explain himself. Explain, what do you mean? Like Ryan Greenspan? Or like Alan Greenspan? Alan Greenspan? Isn't Alan Greenspan? Greenspan. Jesus. The yeah, okay. I was like, that's Federal Reserve guy. And I was like, Ryan Greenspan? I was like, what does he need to explain? I think you guys are talking about something else. Yeah, I mean, rotors increasing in price, you know. It's just as simple as the costs, like parts, you know, stuff costing more. You know, like back in the day, I used to know like all the prices and everything off the top of my head. I could tell you like just every price of everything. Now, obviously not being at the paintball store 6 days a week, I don't have literally every price memorized. I'm looking for something. I was seeing what they're selling. Spire IRs are still Spire IRs are still 125. They've been 125 for a while, but like 4 years ago they were. How much were they 4 years ago? Like $100. Yep. I presume we'll see continual increases in prices. One thing I also want to try to get, I want to do like, I would like to try to do some segments in live streams and like explain different things maybe. One of the segments that I want to try is like kind of like these days when there's not a lot of topics to talk about. I want to try to cover maybe different paintball myths. So like 4 of the really good paintball myths are going to be autocockers are more accurate, or like closed bolt guns are more accurate, or longer barrels shoot further or are more accurate. Rifled barrels are more accurate. Frozen paintballs hurt more. So what other weird paintball myths could we discuss? Paintball question time. You know, Nate, I don't know, dude. I've struggled. I really wish that I could come up with a format for the channel. Paintball question time was a format. It also had paintball ruined my week, you know, as a format where I did news every week. But I don't know, the channel, the direction of the channel has changed so much that I don't know even if like doing that makes sense anymore, you know? Having like a format for complete videos. So I don't know. What are your paintball myths now? No one's giving me paintball myths, or like paintball misconceptions, or paintball, you know, I don't know, stuff like that. Remember the weird Tipman barrel? The Tipman flatline? I do. The Tipman flatline. But that thing actually worked, so. Barrel coatings? It mattered what kind of coatings. I don't know though, did they work or not? You know, who knows? I don't know. Maybe they like technically work a little bit, but the Tipman flatline, it really worked though. So the flatline wasn't really a myth. It would like it would shoot further. So the flatline would like put backspin on the ball to create like a little pressure difference. So it'd like kind of pull the ball through the air a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I could try to explain that, but it might not be right. But the flatline definitely shoots further. My favorite paintball myth is that 10.5 balls per second saves paint. Brandon Olson says. Is that Brandon Olson paintball fame, Brandon Olson? As famous as you can get for paintball? I don't know yet. Do people shoot less when you shoot 10.5? I don't know. I really have no idea. Or you shoot more? Or does it not matter? I don't know. Who knows? I really don't know. The only way to probably tell is like play the same layout with the same people and like all that stuff. Because it's like, I definitely feel that like, if I take out like, if I'm shooting 15 balls a second, right, and I take out 8 pods, I'm probably gonna like shoot paintball dirt. That's cool though too. I see the newsletter. I'm in the subscription thing. I don't know. I subscribe to the newsletter. Cool. I like the idea for sure. It's hard to find stuff to talk about sometimes, huh? It's like this. I like struggle to find things sometimes. What the hell was I talking about? I don't know. I was talking about backspin. Shit. I don't know. I lost it. Damn. I don't know. I really don't want to lose what I was talking about. Someone remind me. You're probably gonna get your face blown off before we... Oh, that's right. Talking about paint and like shooting. Yeah, I don't know. I think if I had like 15, if I'm shooting 15 balls a second, I would probably like... I feel that like I might shoot the same amount of paint, but I'm gonna shoot at 15 and maybe I'll stop shooting a little less. Like I'll stop shooting. I'm not going to consistently be shooting, because when you shoot 10, it just feels like that you can hold a lane for longer because you have the same amount of paint, but the gun shoots slower. So it feels like you kind of like can like shoot your gun more because it like, you know, your hopper lasts a little longer or your paint lasts longer. Just, you know, because the gun shoots slower. So it kind of like feels like maybe you can shoot more consistently or something like that. Brandon. Yeah, weekly news format is definitely more difficult than I thought. Big props to you for continuing with making content so consistently. Well, thank you. And it is. But I like it. I mean, you're doing a good job. So, yeah, it's formatted. Consistency is going to be your most important thing, though. I mean, literally. That's why I was talking about these different formats, because I want to find, like, you know, when there's not, like, a bunch of cool stuff going on, you know, there's no NXL tournament, and there's no, you know, new gun that came out, or, you know, nothing to talk about. You got to find, like, other little things to, like, fill in those gaps where there are not weekly topics. Yeah, myth. Limited paint promotes a faster game. Yeah, I don't know. Can we even answer that? Is that even a myth? Like, we gotta be answerable, you know? I don't know if I can answer that. Because it's so hard, you know? It's like, we just watched, or kind of tried to watch, the Dynasty Aftershock like match where they played at 15 balls a second. And, yeah. I mean, they played at 15, you know, where they're used to playing at 10, but it's still so different, right? The layout's different and everything is just different. So it's hard to get like a true, like, real comparison of what it would be like. I mean, I don't know. I mean, why don't we just... I mean, have we even thought about making the field bigger? What are you guys talking about? What is all this chawl stuff? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I mean, what about making the field bigger even? Because, like, with the 3-man, we noticed that watching the 3-man that it created so much more space, you know, because the field is the same size for 5-man. It seems like it would make more sense to like increase maybe the field dimensions a little bit. John, Euro NXL has limited paint. Are their points faster? No. Nope. Chris Raymond. Oh shit, I still got Chris Raymond's stuff. You're good. I got you. I'll see you this weekend, Chris. I might want to actually... I'll talk to you. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, anyway. Is NXL, are they faster? I don't think that NXL Europe is any faster than regular NXL. And from listening to the guys that play over there, I don't think it makes a difference. One thing that I do think that, like, Paintball really has a problem is that, like, you know, I'm gonna read you guys this comment from a YouTube video I read the other day on YouTube, which would make sense, you know, it's a comment on YouTube and it's where you do read YouTube comments. Community. Let's search. So this guy left this comment on YouTube, on the YouTube page. It says, his comment says, you know what? Let's just do this so you guys can read them. He left 2 comments. There's that video. Let's pull it up. This gentleman left these comments. Can read the first one. It says, this is about airball or like hyperball. It says, so corny with the blow up objects, unnatural environment. What is that giant blow X? Like, come on, you can't see how this got corny quick. He says, hyperball, speedball killed it. I'll say when paintball became, this is hard to read. I'll say when paintball became, tried to make a professional game and took out of the woods was where they all lost it. True facts. Simply corny with the jerseys and blow up moon bounce as cover instead of cool war zones in the woods. Seeing it on ESPN2 with blow up objects was a turn off to channel changer. Okay. Craziness aside, you know, like weird, you know, no grammar and just it's hard to read. Which, you know, whatever. I totally agree with this guy. You know, I actually agree with this person. I think that I agree with this person. People are not going to like my takes on paintball, but I think I agree with this person. This man, he's a man, it says Mr. Yes, but it's very difficult. One of the other things that I struggle with a little bit is just perspective, right? Like, I mean, I'm so entrenched in this paintball thing that we kind of look for all these different things, right? To what's going to help paintball and like, how are we going to help paintball and what's going to grow paintball? And I think, like I said, we were talking about limited paint and like, is it play faster in Europe? Is that good if it plays faster or slower or whatever? And like, I don't think that matters, right? I don't think that the pace matters as far as limiting paint. I'm going to go backwards again in time to this guy just saying it looks dumb and it looks stupid and like it looks corny and like it's kind of cheesy. And, you know, he's kind of right. You know, he's kind of right. You know, like these blow up bunkers on the field just look kind of temporary and they look kind of cheap and it looks kind of weird. You know, it doesn't really look that good. You know, I've constantly talked about like paintball just looks stupid. I mean, there's plenty of sports that just look way cooler, you know? And these airball fields just look kind of lame. Like, it looks kind of cheesy and a little corny. And it's hard for me to even, like, think back to what I originally thought about airball. I don't even know. You know, I was 17. It was so long ago that it's hard for me to even, like, remember what I was thinking. I know that I for sure liked hyperball, and it's not like I was against airball, or I wouldn't even, you know, be in this situation. So it's not like I thought it was that bad. But I definitely think from the outside, and this guy, you know, he's not like from the outside, you know, he's talking about like hyperball and all that stuff. So at least, you know, this person's played paintball at least once. But from the outside, I'll tell you, I mean, paintball's kind of stupid looking, you know? Whether it's fun or not, it definitely looks dumb. I mean, right? You know, as somebody who's spent their entire life in paintball and working in paintball and like devoting all this time to stuff, Brian, freaking members, devoting all this time to this, you know, Brian appreciates all this effort. Yeah, devoting all this time to it, you know, to tell you the truth, like, if I went out in public and was at a bar or like, you know, talking to some girl or like, you know, whatever, you know, am I going to tell her that like I'm this involved with paintball? It's kind of lame. Whether, you know, if it was skateboarding or mountain biking or, you know, skydiving, or there's plenty of other weird ass sports that aren't as lame. So there's this weird like lameness that comes with paintball, honestly. Like, I don't know. And I think that we can maybe solve some of those problems from like a viewer standpoint, at least. You know, I'm positive that new people that have not seen paintball, or even people that have played a few times, think it's stupid how much pro players or how much tournament players shoot. It's stupid. They don't like it. It looks dumb from the outside. They're like, why are these guys so wasteful? Can they not hit anything? Like, they're just wasting all this paint. Their guns aren't accurate. There's like so many like things from the outside that people look at with the like quantity of paint that we use that just looks kind of dumb. So I think that having that limited paint, it doesn't, you know, and speed the game up, but it definitely like doesn't look as stupid, right? It doesn't look as lame. So yes, I thought of this the other day. This guy left this comment like 4 days ago, and I'm like, yeah, dude, you're kind of right, you know. And it's like, you know, we're gonna do 3-on-3 on TV again, and like, what's that gonna do? You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Like, probably nothing. You know, we've had paintball on TV so many times before, and it didn't do anything. I was reading the famous book that was put out a few years ago, and I know I see comments, but if I read comments, I'm gonna go off topic. And I'm in the zone. We're off topic already. 3 shit. See? I don't know. TV. We keep doing TV. But 3-on-3 is coming back, and the other day, I was reading that Famous book. Famous was that kind of like a book that came out. I can't even remember who made the book. It's very good. I mean, like, very, very good. It's a huge book that came out, massive, excellent pictures and all kinds of history in there. They were talking about one of the videos that I made recently about the MPPL and how the NXL, the original version of the NXL, spent like 3 years. Dan, Shot Theory, Dan, he'll know. The NXL spent like 3 years trying to get on TV, and when they finally did, nobody watched. And they spent 3 years trying to get on TV, and it's like, okay, you just spent all that time and like nobody cared. Like I think in that book it says that 800,000 people in total watch, which sounds crazy, but that's 2004 numbers. So nowadays, I think we'd be stoked at that number, but it's just different. But the 3-on-3, right? Like we've done 3-on-3 before. 3-on-3 has been on TV before. With like we watched. We were talking about the other day at the paintball store. The 3v3 Extreme League. This right here. And this is all 3-on-3. There's a big, huge difference though, obviously. The field layout's just ridiculously small. I actually think the field layout's like stupid small. But this was a whole, 3-on-3 league that happened. Yeah, I don't know. I think that we all have these ideas of what we should do to try to improve paintball and do all this stuff. And it honestly, I think, starts again at the grassroots area. It's not like TV and stuff. So, I don't know. Yep. There's my paintball's lame speech. If anyone doesn't think paintball's lame, here's your time to prove me wrong. Yeah. I don't know. Paintball is one of those things where it's like, I just wish that somehow it's like, there's like two different entities kind of in the industry, it seems like, that are like trying to do stuff for paintball. It seems like maybe the big, huge companies like Planet Eclipse and, GI or, what used to be Valken or whatever, are trying to push like for just regular kind of rec play, normal, whatever rental stuff. And then there's the NXL, which is trying to kind of push this like high-end tournament paintball. And they're just two different things, right? The NXL is a business, so they're trying to like promote their business, to grow their business, specifically the NXL. So them like, going on TV and stuff, while good for paintball, I think mainly might just be to grow the NXL. But obviously, if there's more people playing paintball, the NXL's customer base grows dramatically, so that's good for them. But there's also like GI and Valken and Planet Eclipse and whoever that are doing like individual things to try and grow paintball. And I honestly think that's where it should be. I think that we really need to like make just the customer experience better at paintball facilities. I don't know how you do that though, unfortunately. Like there are all these disparate owned paintball fields and whatever, but playing actual paintball is fun. I think not necessarily like forcing it to be watched on TV, but I don't know. Fuck. The only reason I'm even talking about this is to fill time. It's not like I have like all the answers or whatever. Dan Holiday, Shot Theory guy. I do this for me and my brothers. I don't need to care to prove to anyone one way or another. Like pro paintball, I think, or not. Maybe. For sure, yeah. I don't even care about proving stuff. I don't know. I definitely don't care. If I cared at all, I might be pro. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely all in paintball for our friends and stuff. I was thinking about the other day, and I'm like, I kind of wish too we'd have like, I don't know, like more. What I think is really cool, I don't know if we would want this or anyone would want this or if it would make any sense. But one of the things I thought was really cool is, or think is cool, is England. So in England, they have like soccer clubs. So like, fuck, I don't know. There's like a soccer, you're like part of a club. So say like, this would be like my ideal situation. So say that I like buy like 15 acres, right? And I put like an airball field on this 15 acres and I'd build like a clubhouse. Like we'd build like, you know, not big, maybe like, you know, 1,500 square feet. We'd have bathrooms and maybe like a bar and like TV area and just kind of like a clubhouse, like a hangout. And to be a part of the like paintball club, you'd have to pay like $50 a month or whatever. And you'd get access to the clubhouse. You'd get like free drinks in the clubhouse. You'd get access to the field. But we'd have like, you know, 200 people or like 100 people in the club or whatever. And we just kind of like play at different times. And it'd be like, I think really cool. I think it'd be a great idea. But that's how a lot of the like soccer clubs in like England work as well. So if you're like a, you know, a grown adult, you can go to like one of their clubs and play like club soccer or whatever. It's kind of like a softball or like an adult league softball or whatever. But soccer, I think that'd be really fun. It'd just be so cool to have like a fucking clubhouse where you could go and like hang out. It'd be so cool. Like, how awesome would that be? It'd be like, you could just go there whenever you want, you know? Maybe you could have like a people work there, like staff or something, so that like, have like a bartender. I don't know. I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be a great idea. Some brains. Yeah, that's very true. That's how gun clubs and tennis clubs and golf, for sure. That is true. That is how they work, huh? It just seemed in England just like so like haphazard. It was just like so like thrown together. They like didn't have like, it was just like a bunch of dudes doing it. I don't know. Everything I think of like a tennis club or like you know, golf, like country clubs or whatever. It's just different feeling. I don't know. It's probably not any different. Yeah. So you know, I don't think paintball is very cool. I think it's kind of stupid looking. But ask yourself that. Is it weird looking or am I just weird? Who knows? Curtis, you said a comment way up there. My trip to the field this weekend cost me $100, $75 for paint, $25 for entry and air. You need to make the buy-in cheaper. I don't know. To be fair, I opted for the Dark Empire paint. I don't know. Do we though? You know, like, I mean, obviously cheaper is better, but I don't know. You know, like I've always thought that there's like a ton of sports that cost a ton of money, right? The bad part really is that paintball is like this reoccurring thing, right? Every time you go, you got to buy like, you know, paint. But I don't know. I mean, like, if you spend $70, like say you get cheaper paint and it's like $75 instead of $100. I know like here at Capital Edge, I don't know if they still have this exact special, but it was $65 for paint and entry. Paint, entry, and air. And that's not bad. I mean, really, you gotta think it's like you can go all day. It's not like you're, you know, only there for 2 hours. It's like, dude, you can get the field at 9 and leave at 3. Like, that's a long ass time. So it's like, I don't know. I hear you if it was like a couple hours, and obviously it'd be better if it was cheaper, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it can get cheaper. You know, like I can't imagine entry being cheaper than like $25. Like that's crazy cheap. You think about it? Like that's really pretty cheap. And then paint, it's like, if you're buying a case, it's like 2,000 paintballs. Like that's a lot. You know, that's a lot of something. So it's like there's not a lot of other things out there that you can buy like 2,000 of for like 40 or 50 bucks or whatever. I don't know. I hear you though. I totally understand that for sure. I mean, obviously, like if paintball was way cheaper, I'd play more. So for sure. Joe, man. A lot of paintball fields don't make that much money at all, or any at all. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why I'm like, I can't imagine it being cheaper than $25. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the problem, right? As I was saying that, like, I think that, you know, growing or helping paintball all starts kind of like at that customer entry point, that very first time they play. Because, you know, you're either going to like it or not that first time. You're either going to do it again or not, or think about it at least. You know, we want people at least to think about playing again. For sure. So it's difficult, you know, like a lot of these fields don't make a lot of money. So it's hard to say get better when it's like, you're like, yeah, I'd love to spend an extra 50 grand to make this place nicer. But, you know, when we only make $400 a week, it's kind of hard to invest that money. But you got to spend money to make money. Yeah. Yeah, Joe, also, they have other businesses support income, for sure. I think that all the paintball fields that I know, almost, I think also do, the family that owns it or something also does something else. Which makes sense, though, because, I mean, the business is only open a few days a week, so it's not like you do tons of business every day. But there's all kinds of private groups and private parties and always something to clean up and fix something, and, you know, there's always some nonsense. Chris Martin says, all of these problems are out of our sphere of control, not mine. Kind of, though. Invite friends to play, that grows the sport. I'm with you, for sure. 100%. But it's got to look cool, too. Who wouldn't want to go? Yeah, I don't know. There's something about just it looks kind of lame. I don't know. And I thought about, like, Airball definitely when it got, like... One of the things that I think, like, kind of pushed, like, that I kind of liked about Paintball, too, is that, like, it reminded me of a lot of the things that I grew up doing when I was a kid, right? It reminded me of like BMX and like skateboarding and surfing and all that stuff. It's kind of like a little dirty and a little grimy, and I kind of liked that, I think. So I think that like the woods ball stuff and then like the dirt hyperball fields and stuff, I kind of liked in a way. And I do sort of feel that like we did kind of lose that roughness or that like grit or like that edge or whatever when we did shift to like airball and trying to make it all like pretty and look good. So I don't know. Welts aren't as cool now as they were in 2000. Everyone thought you had a ringworm or some shit. Brian? Paint is surprisingly cheap. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten more expensive over the years. I 100% agree. Paint now is about the same price it was 20 years ago. 100%. Comparing hobbies, a ski pass is the same. A ski pass is the same as a day of paintball, if not more. You know, skiing's gotten so crazy expensive, and it is true. Paint has gotten like not cheaper per se, but remained relatively the same. If anything, yeah, it got cheaper. It has gotten cheaper. Like Shot Theory right there says, I used to pay $120 a case. I never did that, thank God. Curtis, with that super chat. Thank you, sir. When is Super Game? Isn't Super Game in like May? Yeah, but it's crazy how paint, like, I mean, you've been able to buy like a $40 box of paint for like 20 years. You know, it's not like that $40 box now is 55 or 60. So it's like all the other costs have been increasing. They've just figured out how to like make the like overall paint cheaper. Nate said this the other like 2 weeks ago when I got to see Nate. So I agree, Brian. Paint here in SoCal is at Paintball Gateway, $100 for 4 cases. That's pretty good. But that's like SoCal price. That's like cheap. That's always been like cheap in Southern California. I mean, it used to be cheap there because a lot of it was made there. I mean, there was the paint factory. There used to be 2 paint company's factories in LA. There was Mexico. Everything was like made there. Now I guess it all just comes there off the containers. It comes there straight from like China or Taiwan or whatever. The other Nate. Why is Nate invisible? Not now. Super chats, guys. Keeping this boat afloat allows me to take that money and then buy Flex Seal to fill the cracks in the boat. Is it Flex Seal? Is that the Flex Seal guy? Flex Seal? Maybe something else. Hey, I just bought an Ether 3 and sold my E-Tech 5 from back in the day. Dude, I love the freaking E-Tech 5. The Ether 3 electronics still pretty good. Yeah, for sure. Both of those guns are very good still. I mean, the Ether 3 might be the best gun ever made. Honestly. I mean, yep. You really can't beat the Ether 3. I mean, it's priced well. It shoots just as good as a high-end gun. I mean, you pretty much get all the same features as some of these high-end guns for like a quarter of the price. So, it's fantastic, yeah. The Ether 3. But I like the E-Tech 5 too. I really liked my E-Tech 5. I kind of wish they'd bring that thing back. I really liked it. The E-Tech 5 was great. It was like the miniature LV2. Is this video playing in the background or anything? No. I'm making sure we're not playing videos in the background. Thank you, sir. Yep, you watch my content for years? You betcha. Oh, man. Shot a Friends Adrenaline Lux on Saturday, and wow. Almost zero kick. Curtis! That just reminded me of something. I actually have an adrenaline bolt. Oh, you know what I also have right here that's kind of cool? Hold on. Look in this fucking bin of randomness. I just remembered that I have an adrenaline bolt that I was going to give away. I have this adrenaline bolt. This is a Bernoulli bolt. Bernoulli bolt. That's what that thing is. But I don't know what to do with this because you gotta find somebody that has a. I gotta find someone that actually has a Lux Idol to give it away. Nate, with another freaking super chat. Flex Seal. You'll need at least another $4.99. $1,200 budget for a new gun or a... Okay, hold on. $1,200 budget, a new gun or a 1.6, and a CS2. Got it at Paintball for almost 2 years. So you need a single gun or you need two guns? I mean, because if you have $1,200... Jeez, I mean, you can literally buy whatever you want. I mean, honestly. I mean, I don't know. It always depends on who people are, right? It's always hard to say, like, what people should buy. If you're experienced, like you said, you're getting back. If you're experienced, new or used is probably okay. My gosh, I don't know. A new gun or a 1.5 or a 1.6 and a CS2. Well, I can for sure say that none of the newer guns are going to really be any better. I mean, like, they technically, might be better, but not really. I mean, the 1.6 and the CS2 are still fantastic. So you're not really going to get anything better necessarily. So it's kind of just preference. I mean, I would probably prefer the CS2 just because I kind of like the way they feel in my hands more. I mean, both of them are very good, though. It's kind of just preference. Yeah, new, I always say, like, for some people, it's easy to say whether they should buy new or used guns. Because if you have not a lot of experience with paintball guns, it's probably better to buy new, right? Because when you're buying used stuff, you don't really know, right? I mean, you could be getting, like, you know, some gun with a weird problem, and now you got to pay $300 to get it fixed. Whereas if you're experienced, you might be able to, like, you know, figure that out before you buy it, because you know about, like, a little bit what you're looking for. I think that answers that. We're talking about the Olympics for. Olympics ain't gonna. I don't know. We're talking about the Olympics. Olympics are stupid. There was something else in here I was looking for. Oh no, there wasn't. Now I remember. Eric, if you're out there, we're gonna give those away at some point on here. Nick says our HKCS2 is my go-to gun. Picked mine up for $850 about 2 years ago. That's pretty good. That seems like a really good price. Look what I've got. Look at that. Show you the other side. Milling different on this side. It's a little bit weird because the barrel's hitting the monitor, so it's at a wonky angle. Really cool. This is a, we're not really sure. I don't know if this is an 05 or is an 06. I don't know. I can't really tell just by looking at it. We'll have to like look it up, but that's the excessive ego. You can see those deep cuts on this milling. This is one of the more desirable paintball guns. Tell me if it's a 6 or a 5. Does anyone know off the top of their heads? Can you tell if it's an 05 or an 06? I'm making a video on Planet Eclipse and excessive kind of like together. So I know, Tyler, is that it? Is it the like way the trigger frame is shaped, the trigger guard? We were talking about that because I have an 05 as well. Also so that's just a regular stock 05 Ego, and obviously that trigger guard, if we compare the two, you can see that the trigger guard, it's kind of like hard to do this, I don't really know how, but you can definitely tell the trigger guard's different, but we didn't know, oh okay, is it the fang grip right there? You can tell, okay. For sure. But then I wasn't sure. So this is all on the 06s. Because then we were like, I don't know if it's just a Planet Eclipse. Was it just the excessive frame was maybe different? 06. That makes sense. Oh yeah, maybe this is different too. Either way, there's an 05 Ego Planet Eclipse, a cool snatch grip so you can hold it like this. Stupid. Everyone used to hold their guns like this. I hold my gun upside down. Yep, 05 Ego Planet Eclipse video. Kind of on the formation of Planet Eclipse and excessive, and kind of how they like helped each other along the way to fulfill their destiny. I put an 06 frame on my Mantis Ego back in the day. Wow. I never got it. I never owned an Ego. I mean, I, technically have. I've owned a bunch, but like never owned a personal gun as an Ego. Other than the E-Tech 5, I take that back. I did have the E-Tech 5. We just talked about how cool those were. I never did. I never owned a 5, a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Never an LV1. Never an LV2. Nothing. Weirdly. I just was not in my, like, wheelhouse. In 2005, I was using Angels. And then when Angel went out of business, I started using G6Rs again. So I just never really, just never happened. Didn't ever happen. Whoa, I gotta not do that, I guess. How many lungs must I sell to get all of these markers? Everyone gags over these? I don't even know. I have no idea how much this thing's worth. I got no idea. The Slay the Dragon marker. It took me a minute, old soul. The Slay the Dragon marker and the Dragon Proflex frame. Same video. Yes. That's kind of what this video will be about a little bit. Is about excessive beating Dynasty. That's funny. Yeah. This is kind of funny too. This jersey. There's like some Easter eggs on here. So this is a remake. This is a remake of the, like, one of the excessive jerseys. I don't actually remember like what year this was. Probably like, maybe it is 04 or something like that. But this is just a JT jersey. Like Thomas Taylor remade a bunch of these. Wait, 100 of 100. I don't know if that's really 100 of 100. What is going on? My computer sucks, guys. It's just fucking OBS, dude. Why don't you just close yourself? Anyway, this is Thomas on the back. Thomas Taylor. But it's really kind of wild. Like, look at this. We saw the other day, I was at the store and I was like, oh, cool. They put like War Pig and stuff on the side of the arm. I'm gonna take it off this hanger. Look at the arm. They like spelled a bunch of stuff wrong. Like, this is supposed to be War Pig, but it's like wapig.com. They just like totally left off the R. Wapig. And like the view loader, like what? Like what's going on there? Like that totally doesn't make sense. We're like, okay, maybe like view loader because, or no, maybe like War Pig, because they don't own War Pig. But then the company that made this jersey owns this company. So it's not like it's like some weird like copyright thing. Yeah, it's very weird. Everything else is spelled right. Nick, that's what we thought, but it doesn't make any sense. Because this jersey was made by JT, and JT owns ViewLoader. They own this company. Like, they're all like parent companies of whatever, and Plus, War Pig's not gonna give a shit. They're not gonna care. I mean, War Pig hasn't even done anything on their website in 12 years or something, so it's like, gonna care? Just weird. Someone just wasn't paying attention, or, maybe it's supposed to be there. But this will probably make an appearance in that video. The reason I've got it, so. Plus 2,000 spelling errors. I know I wish, though. If they made a bunch of them, maybe we could. Why are we making this high? Wait, 2004, 2005? The idiot at JT doing that jersey also misspelled a bunch of stuff. Well, that jersey's... That's like a remake. They made that like last year, like 2 years ago or something. So it's like someone currently at JT. Did they really though? Like they messed up, did he mess up jerseys? Some brain's memory. Your memory is insane. I don't remember what happened like last week. Did I have a girlfriend or had a girlfriend? I don't have like multiple girlfriends. I had a girlfriend that I still talk to. I still know. We're still friends. But we were together a long time ago. But we've known each other for, I mean, since we were like 11 or 12 or some shit. And like, she remembers stuff that happened in my life that I don't even remember. I'm like, really? She's like, yes. It's pretty funny. My memory's so bad. So I have to like ask her about things that have happened in my life. Dan, I remember, I can even sing it to you if you want to know. Wasn't it like doo-doo doo-doo? No, that's definitely too Mario. It was like doo-doo 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 doo-doo. Damn it. Doo-doo doo-doo doo. I don't know. For sure. I mean, I've been listening to a bunch of old Paintball things, so like I remember. Let's find it. Hold on. We can find it real easy. I have to outsmart the computer though. War Pig Paintball. Let's type that. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. That's what you're looking for. You guys might not have been able to hear. Hold on. This is what we're talking about. I remember that part. This part right here. That has to be what you mean. That has to be it. What was another one? I don't know. Like, did like 720 Paintball have one or something? There were a couple of these magazines that had like a, not magazines. Oh man, so funny. What's another one? War Pig? I don't know. Definitely that War Pig sound. Classic. Oh, dude, I should bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use the War Pig sound. Trauma Head. I know Trauma Head guys don't like me though, so we don't talk about Trauma Head or do that stuff. We don't talk about them or show their videos because they get mad. Chris, I don't know. I mean, Dawn and Mills, Dawn Mills, Dawn Mills, and shit. I don't know. What's his name? Mills? Something Mills. Something Mills. Will it say in here anywhere if I go Mills? What if I go Mills? Yeah, I actually, a long time ago, before I actually started Paintball Ruined My Life, I actually contacted them to see if they wanted to sell me the website. They did not want to sell me the website. And yeah, at one point I wanted to try to reinvent Warpig and redo Warpig. So if they would have sold this, it would have been, this would have been, you would have been watching Warpig right now instead of Paintball Ruined My Life. They were not interested in selling this. I'm kind of nervous about this ever going down. I have a external backup. I actually downloaded this entire website just in case. I actually also tried to buy Paintball. God dang it. I cannot type. Paintball.com. Is this actually right? I can't see. Paintball.com. Well, they don't want you going there anymore, but I tried to buy paintball.com, and this guy wanted like 150 grand, and I was like, dog, you'd be crazy right now. That shit's crazy. So I tried to buy other stuff before I did this. Reinvent Warpig as a wife swapping site. I know Warpig's kind of a weird name. I'm actually kind of glad that that didn't happen. ZDS, yeah, ZDS is also one of those like very good websites. You know, I used ZDS not often anymore. I don't know what. There we go. I don't know. Is this who is this? This is somebody. I just don't know who it is. But for sure, I've definitely used many of these resources trying to fix stuff. Like such great resources on like all the smart parts guns over here on ZDS Paintball. Yeah. It's great stuff. All kinds of like useful alt documents. Andy, ZDS, Andy T, DNA, the book, Rennick. Fuck, dude. I know who that is too. Like why DNA? Why done? I don't know. Shit. I feel like I should know. I know that name and stuff, but Brad, if you plan on buying Warpig, let me know. I would like to help as an investor. Well, I tried to buy it like, you know, I'm not buying it now. I would have, like, you know, back in the day, but it had just been what this is. You know, I wouldn't have reinvented Warpig. It wouldn't have been like, you know, I wouldn't have done any of the things that they did. I just kind of wanted the name. I mean, I would have left stuff alone. I probably would have like reorganized stuff. I don't know what I would have done, honestly. I mean, it was like years ago now. It was like 2006 or something. I mean, it was almost 10 years ago. And the internet is so much different. You know, doing any of this stuff is just like nonsense. You know, like no one cares about this stuff at all. So it would be very difficult. That's kind of why they stopped doing it, you know. And it was really just gonna, if I did buy it, it would have morphed into whatever this current thing is anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I downloaded, so Warpig is it's on the Wayback Machine for sure. Almost the whole website's on the Wayback Machine, so it's all archived on the Internet Archive. And like I said, I downloaded it too, so I've got it. I've downloaded a handful of websites, completely downloaded them, and have it like in a zip somewhere. When was the last time they made an update? I don't know. I think I just saw the last tournament was 2008. It was like, there's some stuff right here from 2008. I mean, really, PSP is probably going to be the 2009-ish, somewhere in there. I guess this is the last thing on the homepage. Requires Java, 2012. Yep. I talked to Traumahead Voice. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Voice at Free Flow Open, and he said that a shout out or like a logo when you play their videos would go a long way in his book. He watched and likes your videos. Well, he might. I don't know. Jeff, the guy in charge, does not. He doesn't. Yeah. We're not. Yeah. Anyway, we don't have to get into that. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I saw Dan. Dan, I saw your Force of Nature. That was a good one. I don't know. Force of Nature, like finding so many of these like old like videos. Like some of this stuff just doesn't exist, you know, and it's like, should we type Force of Nature paintball? Yeah, there's this guy's crazy. I don't know who's uploading these. I've seen these online. This is some guy like that has some of these DVDs that's like filming his TV or something like that. Oh, you guys want to hear like a really old one? You guys remember Smack Talk Paintball? Is it like, I don't know if it's like a domain? I fucking can't see the monitor, so it's like, am I spelling this right? Man. I don't know if it's .com or not. There she is. It's 2024. Holy shit. So like, I remember going to this website a lot, and the one thing that I like remember so much from this is damn it. Hold on. They used to have sound on the website. I don't know. I was on this a while ago and the sound worked. None of these videos go anywhere. None of them are going to play. Watch this one plays. I'm like, holy shit. Whoa. I actually got a Windows movie file from that. The problem though is that like, this is the quality we're dealing with. PB Films? Holy shit, dude. Wow. That looks like Nate. I wonder if that's Nate. Look how, why is it all like slow motion? Look at him have no barrel on. That's John. That's little John. Anyway, what are you guys doing? Old ass paintball stuff. Honestly, my newsletter website looks super old. I should probably make it look like a website from this decade. Probably not. Probably not, though. Let's see what it looks like. This is what we do here. We, what is the website? Paintball. What if we search Paintball Dirt News? Again, you can't find that one. Oh, it's a Substack, though. This? Just this? That's perfectly fine if that's really what it is. That's all you really need. I mean, honestly, if you're just doing a newsletter, you don't need anything crazy. I don't even know how Substack works. Really, we've already signed up. Yes, Brandon in the chat has Paintball Dirt newsletter. Yeah, so far he's done a great job. Weekly news updates. There's Sergey. Where'd Sergey go? I just wanted to see Sergey's picture. I don't know why we're scrolling so much. Man. So Substack charges, right? Substack's like kind of weird. Yeah, Substack is interesting. If I was doing a newsletter, I would use PHP list. This is what I would use. PHP list. Email marketing powered by open source. So this way you don't have to like pay anybody. All you gotta do is have your own like web server. Oh, that's right. Sergey had knee surgery. That's right, Dan. That was interesting. I was listening to Spick and Span show, and they were talking about Sergey because apparently he hurt his knee, and he had knee surgery. But everyone at the tournament, I guess, was saying that he was like visa issues or something. Yeah, that sucks. Sergey's a big dude too, so I know that it's, I believe, a little bit harder to come back from those like injuries. If you're like heavy or whatever. Yeah, that's no good. PHP list. I think you can go to Paintball Ruined My Life / like newsletter. What happens if we go there? This is actually PHP list. I thought I had a better looking one. What happens if I go to like... God, I cannot see it all. Nope, no mailing list. Okay, I don't know what the hell I'm doing at this point. Okay, guys, I don't know. We're gonna cut out of here. I'm gonna have, I got a waffle maker the other day. I'm gonna make waffles for dinner. Although I've never made like real, it's been like, I mean, I guess I have, but I'm gonna make real waffles. I get like a big, it's like a waffle iron from like the 60s or something. It's really cool. Make waffles. I think I want to try to make like strawberry waffles. Either strawberry or like blackberry or something like that. So I have like strawberries and blackberries. What are we talking about? 32 carrots are huge. I got a 19. Are we talking about monitors? Right now, when Clean My Office just picked up a... You picked up a 32-inch CRT TV for retro gaming. Okay, there we go. I was like, why in the fuck are you buying a CRT TV? Damn, 32 inches. How much does it weigh? Like 100 and something pounds? I think the biggest CRT I had was like... Dan, I still have all of the old VHSs and DVDs from around 1998 to 2005. I'm constantly on here asking like people, I'm like, hey, who's got old DVDs? I mean, really, if you do and you're interested, if you'd interested in loaning them to me or something like that, we could like mail stuff or something. I would be really interested if you have old stuff, because I've started to categorize all the old DVDs, so I have my own media sources, so that I don't have to like download stuff. And I've got quite a few dirter things, but I really want old stuff. I mean, really, you want to like somehow message me or something? We've spoke before, so I'd really like to know what you have. I hate to be like categorize them and make a big list of all the ones you have, or maybe like take a picture of them all or something, or just so we know you have, because I might have some of them. Some of them I might not be able to use. The problem with VHS, though, I'd have to like look into getting a VHS player and see how that works. I haven't done that so long. But I got a lot of the dirter stuff and some other random things. Mark? Is it worth upgrading TM40 to idle? Probably not. I don't know. It matters, right? I don't think you're going to get any huge improvement in performance. I do think the idles, I don't know, maybe a little nicer, but obviously I think that with every iteration of their guns, they get a little nicer. But you're really probably not going to see a huge performance difference. That screen, yeah, is probably the only like major difference, but you know, having that screen isn't make or break. You're going to get the same exact information on that new big screen, right? Like battery level and, you know, your current settings and all that stuff. It's the same stuff, just bigger and colorful. You'll probably see the biggest change maybe next version, but it might be a while, right? I mean, the idle the idle's been a couple years now. Maybe like a year and a half. It'll probably be 2 years at the end of this year. So maybe in like next year, Dan says right there, the idle's trigger is nicer. It for sure is. I agree on that for sure. That's something I was thinking about, is like holding the gun. The grips are also a little nicer. There are things that are better for sure. The on-off I think is a little easier to use, but you know, it's probably not worth getting a whole new gun for those little things. Cap Chicago Open 2001 VHS. I probably can't use that. That's probably a Trauma Head thing. That sounds like a Trauma Head video. Also, only VHS I told my wife is off limits for her. That's funny. I'm constantly purging. I purge all my stuff every other week, I feel like. I'm like, don't need this anymore. I'm constantly like shifting and arranging. Yeah, I've got lots of dirter stuff. The things that I really want are old. Like, I really want to try to get like, I don't know, there's those 720 videos. There's a lot of like weird stuff, like Force of Nature DVDs. Or even older. It's so hard to find like, you know, 98 or like old stuff. I don't know. Well, Dan, nothing, I mean, really, Trauma Head guys aren't going to do anything. I mean, you know, the worst thing they can do is sue me, but they'd lose in court. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's definitely like fair use, and I think that in my videos, it definitely falls into that fair use category where I'm using it for commentary. It's like commentary on the video. So it's like, I don't think that I'm doing anything illegal. YouTube could definitely take the stuff down though. Like if they upload their videos to the content ID area and it matches to my videos, YouTube could take it down. You know, but we always run, it's just this thing where like, I don't want to, you know, they don't want me to use their videos. I won't use them. You know, it's that easy. It's really that easy. I'm not going to argue. You know, they told me I could use them if I paid licensing, which is fair. But the licensing fee is, you know, more than I make on like all the videos combined or some shit. So, yes. I asked them directly. I mean, originally there's a video on this channel that's a members only video. And I asked if it was okay if I used some of their clips in that video. And they said yes, but then I used a couple more that they did not approve of, or they said I couldn't use them. Yeah, but I did. I used them afterwards. I didn't use them after they said no. They just said, you used more clips than you said you were going to. Now you can't ever post our content. You can't use anything ever again. It's like, all right, fuck. Sounds good. See you later. It's whatever. That's not worth me dealing with. I'm like, all right, well, on to my next thing to do. You know, I'm like, okay. Dan, licensing, how do they come up with the calculation? I don't entirely know. I know that they did license some stuff to Alex Fragi and like Oliver for, I don't believe for the All That Matters documentary. I think that's for the upcoming Iron Kids documentary. So I think that we were probably quoted roughly about the same price, I guess, for licensing. The one thing that's weird about it though is that there's no market for it. Like, who's gonna buy this stuff? So this is kind of weird. So yeah, just the trauma head stuff is you know, off limits. And you know, paintball is such a small thing too. It's not my nature or my like personality to like just try to piss people off or not care, you know, which is a good and a bad thing. But especially in paintball, you know, it's such a small thing. You know, I'm not trying to like burn bridges and, you know, piss people off really. Especially when there's like alternative sources that I can use, you know. Although Trauma they do have a lot of like all the good stuff from like 98 to like 2005 or something like that. I know they have been at some of the recent tournaments. I know they were in, I'm pretty sure they were in Atlantic City filming. They were some of the NXLs recently this year. I don't know what they're going to do with that footage, though. There's literally no money in any of this. So, yeah. I don't know who's buying it or what's going on. Trash is going to go to Sack Paintball for something. I don't know. Sack Paintball, you can go there, yeah. Sack Paintball is a good paintball store. I was at Sack Paintball store yesterday. I do kind of want to go to Davis Paintball too, speaking of which. Adrenaline TM40 or an Idol? Man, I don't know. I get the, like, Lux is so goddamn confused. So, they made an Adrenaline TM40. Yeah, I get the Adrenaline TM40 confused with, like, not the gun. I always wonder if it's a TM40. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I mean, I'd honestly probably rather have the Adrenaline version of the TM40. Maybe? Some brains is right. They all look the same. That's kind of the problem. That's why I always am like, I don't know what gun that is. It's always so confusing. I'm like, is that this one? That's this one? That's this one? I mean, honestly, all the guns are starting to look similar. That's why you gotta have little tricks on how to tell which is which. Gentlemen, I'm gonna go make waffles. And, I don't know. If you guys want to something. All right. I appreciate everybody. Ooh, Dan, if you want to message me about DVDs. I literally ask people all the time and everyone's like, oh. And I'm like, I know some of you fuckers have like houses full. I even like ask local people because I'm like, I don't really want people to ship stuff. You know, it's a lot easier just to meet me at this paintball store or like just meet me at the field or whatever. But if you got good enough stuff, figure it out. Gentlemen, I gotta open this window. I'm not gonna be able to close the live stream. I just realized I need to kind of open the browser to be able to close this thing. I literally picked something out of my mouth, put it back, and spit it out. Matthew? Dudes with super chats are so awesome. I'm telling you, like, directly supporting people, whether it's me or not, is really kind of cool. So I much appreciate it, you know. I really do. Okay, now I'm going to leave, though. Hitting this button? See you guys later.